I remember I used to switch up my hair cutting system every single time I had a new style, a different hair texture sit in my chair, but that completely changed once I started cutting hair with this system I'm going to be showing you guys today. Now, the way that I like to start my tapers here is always with the clipper all the way closed. We're using the Tune 45 Babyliss collaboration, and like I said, guys, this is the hair cutting system that just completely removed anxiety from my head while I was cutting hair. I always used to switch up my system, guys. Now, the first thing that I like to do when I'm doing, whether it's tapers or fades, like I said, this is going to work for everything. High fades, low fades, tapers, it's a universal system. Start your fades with the clipper all the way closed. Now you can see this is going to be a high taper style. I'm completely removing his corner, completely removing the C cup, and then we're going to have a taper. You can kind of see those lines almost flow together. Obviously, I need to have that edge over the ear, so I didn't give him a full low fade guideline. But you could see, like, it kind of like tilts upwards a little bit in the back, right? That's really gonna help the high taper flow together, and you're gonna see more of the flow come together once I set in the secondary guideline, which you guys can see here is being done with the half guard all the way closed. Now, you'll notice it's clipper closed and then it's half guard closed. Why do I do it like this rather than a lot of other YouTubers teaching you to do trimmers and then no guard open? The truth is that the lengths are very, very similar. You know, the trimmer and the clipper all the way closed, it's not that it's a huge difference in length, but what it is a softer line that's easier to fade out at the end of the haircut. It's not saying that it can't be done, and I'm sure barbers who have like super zero gapped clippers, you know, you can do that and you'll be able to fade out the line that was created with that you punched in with the trimmer. But I just feel like you're gonna unnecessarily be making your job a lot harder, and that's what I want to show you guys when I'm putting this together. Now also look at this guideline right here, guys. You see how this half guideline, it almost looks like a low fade now. This is what I'm talking about when I say I really like to make my high tapers flow. You know, it looks kind of crazy now, but I promise you it's gonna look so crispy at the end. You know, when you see that edge come, like scoop over the ear, the way that it's gonna flare, the way that it's gonna pop is amazing. And in here, guys, the next step that I like to do after I've already set my secondary guideline with that half guard is I like to use the 1.5 guard now. You know, sometimes I'll use it open first and then I could follow up closed. With a curly hair texture like this, I really like to start with it closed because I feel like it's gonna grip and slice the hair a little bit easier. The most important thing, guys, is please understand that I'm not super flush up against the head. Do you notice kind of how I have the clipper kind of tilted away from the head a little bit? That helps me have a softer cut. That helps me apply pressure at the bottom of the guideline that I'm working at and floating my way up and off the head. So that way, not only can it help me debulk, you know, remove bulk and give me a easier blending space, but it also can help me create that shape, right? I want me and the client want this hairstyle to kind of flare out a bit. So that way, you know, we can have a nice shape when we go to hit it with the curl sponge. So that's something too, guys, that I didn't even realize I was noticing. Some coworkers that I have here at my shop were kind of asking me like, yo, why do you hold your clipper like that? And it makes sense. If I kind of like tilt the clipper forward, I'm not pressing super hard and tight up against the head. It almost gives me a little bit of extra, it's like extra wiggle room, and it gives an extra soft cut. You know, so that way it makes it easier for me to flare out and work my way up and off the head. So I hope that's making sense. Y'all can see, again, just to recap what we've done so far, I did clipper close because it's a bald line, but it's a very soft bald line that's easier to fade out. And you're gonna really appreciate that when we get to the end of this tutorial. My secondary guideline, I did it with the half guard closed. Again, very similar to clipper open, it's just about the same length, but it's easier to fade out and it's a softer line to work with. And now I'm creating shape and I'm removing some bulk with this 1.5 guard. Guys, if you're not familiar and comfortable at all with freehanding, like you can see I'm doing the freehanding motion, shaping the hair, You can totally grab your, 4 guard, then your 3 guard, then your 2 guard, and work that little by little. But I want you to practice and start working towards the ability to freehand. It's going to help you so much, and it's going to help your efficiency so much. It's a big part of why I want to share this haircutting system with you guys, because it helped me speed up my life, my haircutting system so much. And by the way, shout out to my team in the back, man. They were helping me put together these barber chairs, man. I love my team, man. We're building this shop up real quick. Yeah, guys, so now if you notice here, I returned now to my half guard. You remember that secondary guideline that we put in the middle? We went with the half guard all the way closed. Well, now that we've already removed the bulk and we've shaped up the hair, the easiest thing to fade out that half guard is the half guard itself, right? So I have my half guard right here, and I'm actually starting with it all the way open, so that way I can float my way up into what I did with the 1.5 guard closed, right? So I'm just kind of cornering it, right? I'm pretty much making sure I'm getting rid of any lines of demarcation starting open, but then I can slowly work my way closed, right? I'll start open and then go halfway and then go all the way closed. Then I'm perfectly matched up to that very bottom line that I put in. The secondary guideline that I put in with the half guard all the way closed. So y'all can see here, man, a nice light touch. I'm really like floating my way over that guideline. I'm not really too worried about like pressing super hard against the head. I would rather have a softer, lighter touch, because it's gonna just it's gonna cut a lot smoother. It's gonna cut a lot softer. It's not gonna give me super harsh lines that are gonna be hard to fade out. You know, the whole point of a blurry fade is that you can't see any lines. You want it to be as smooth a transition as possible. So there you go. You can see now I closed it. You know, I'm working back and forth from open to closed, slowly chipping away at all the little spots, little dark spots that I see. Anything that's going to interrupt the flow, knock it out. So then we're gonna continue watching this, little these lines of demarcation being faded out. But if you guys are in the market for a machine like what I'm using today, whether it be the clipper, whether it be the trimmer, you're gonna see how the trimmer lines up shortly. Depending on your shopping style, I got Amazon links in the description down below, and you can also shop within the YouTube app. Check the tag products down below, and then it'll have some links, so that way you can get the tools that I'm using today. So you're not only using the system that I use to cut, but you're also using the tools that I use to get these results as well. Now check this out, guys. For the last step of the blend, can you believe that we're already almost at the end of this fade? You can see it really hasn't taken that much time yet. I'm going in with my clipper all the way closed, because remember that very first initial line that we put in was with the clipper closed. So what is the best thing to fade out the clipper closed with other than the clipper closed? So I match that line. I'm gonna break through that very bottom line with the clipper all the way closed, just so I can soften it up. And then after I'm done with that, the next thing that would give me a lot of anxiety is, man, I'm gonna take this fade too high. Now this taper is gonna turn into a fade because I'm gonna, take the line way too high. The thing is, yes, you are gonna raise that fade, and you're gonna see right here, I broke through that line. Now I open it 1 notch. Now I'm gonna pick the fade up a little bit higher, which means it's getting cut longer because I hit the lever, right? Cool. Look, I hit the lever again. It's gonna cut a little longer, so now I can go a little higher. And again, I'm gonna adjust the lever so it can go a little longer, which means I can safely go a little higher. And notice right here, guys, by the time that I'm all the way open, it's gonna blend perfectly into the half guard closed, the secondary guideline that we started this fade with, right? So you're gonna be able to see it happen here again. Clipper closed, I'm breaking through that initial line I put the lever a little bit longer so I can go a little bit higher, right? Lever a little longer, now I can go a little higher, and again, lever all the way open, so now I can go a little bit higher, a little bit more safely. And I have no concerns, no anxiety about taking my fade too high, because I have a system that I use every single time, a consistent haircutting system. Yeah, and you guys can see how that's coming together, man. Let me know in the comment section down below how you feel about this. I know a lot of you guys probably put your guidelines in with the trimmer, and you have the skill. Props to you. You have the skill to take it out. I just don't want to set my students on a I don't want to set my students on a more difficult path, right? Putting in guidelines with the trimmer. I just feel like life could be a little easier. Then for the sake of efficiency, while I have this clipper here, you know, with no guard, we can go ahead and clean up any extra shaping that we need to. I debulked his hairline a little bit. He loves the look of that. You know, tightening up the shape and all that stuff, like I said. So I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward through the shaping of the hair, just so y'all can kind of see the flow of it. But I'll pick back up with you guys right here on the lineup. But also leave a comment down below. Let me know, do you guys appreciate me kind of like not cutting out anything and just letting the fade work kind of like just go at its normal pace, so you guys can see it comes together at a natural pace? Let me know if you like that, or if you prefer the shorter versions, the more sped up content, more cuts. Let me know what you guys like, man, because I make this content for you guys. So now, guys, we're getting into the lineup, right? And like I said, we're using the Tomb 45 set, the clippers and the trimmers. This is the one that has, like I said, just like the clipper, it's got the wireless charging, and the blade never gets hot, and this blade is set in a reverse, how do you call it, the reverse orientation. So when you pick it up, you're literally ready to edge up right away. You don't have the need to flip the trimmer over. You know, it's pretty cool, man. I've actually gotten really used to it. The trimmer felt pretty natural on the first try for me. But check this out, guys. Like, I know that this hair is growing and flowing backwards. Like, if he were to wave up, he would have to, you know, brush his hair backwards. It's the natural grain, the natural flow that his hair's growing in. So that's why I cut kind of against that grain. You know, I love to have that back line pop just like this. And you can kind of see what I was talking about. You remember how that initial secondary guideline, it kind of looked like a low fade, how the half just kind of flowed over the ear? That was just to make sure that the two tapers, the back taper and the side taper, really complemented each other. But now that I got that edge there, it super pops, man, and it looks so crispy. So, you know, we went ahead and took care of that. We're gonna knock out his vertical bar, and we're gonna do the same on the other side. What I'm really excited to show you guys is how this front lineup comes together, man, because I know the front lineup is something that, for me, I mean, I used to, you know, line it up once and then line it up again and line it up again, and it would come out crooked every single time. But it's because I wasn't breaking it down and making my life simpler. The best way to do that, guys, is, you know, you can already see the widow's peak he has in the middle, right? Break up this lineup into 3 easy steps. First, I'm going to suggest that you start in the very middle of the hairline. Make a nice strong incision right there in the middle. You just want to make a solid cut, and that way you can make that initial cut right in the middle and step back and observe. Is that straight? Is that going to complement my client's hair? You know, the hair shape, the vibe that he's going for. And then I'm going to choose one side in particular to attack. So after I make that initial guide right there, I'm like, okay, I like how that's looking in the middle. It has potential. I can work with that. Now I'm going to attack that left side. I'm going to return to that middle incision that I made, and I'm going to take this guideline straight out to the left corner. And I'm going to take my time and just kind of follow the natural curve of the head. You got to remember, guys, like, all of our heads are super round domes. It's hard to put a perfectly straight line on something that is round. It's literally going to be an optical illusion because it's only going to be straight from one angle. If he were to tilt his head forward, you'll see a U. If he were to lean his head back, you'll see an N shape. So we need to find at what angle of his head do we want this line to be a perfectly straight line. And sometimes you have to modify that. If someone is super receding, if they have horseshoe hairline, you may want to, you know, give them more of a natural U because it'll follow them more naturally, versus, you know, if someone's hairline is the opposite, you may want to curve it upwards, you know, just depending. But my client has a nice strong hairline, and I truly feel like we can give it a nice solid straight line when you're looking at him straight on. So that's something to consider. Let me know in the comments down below if you've ever considered that. The hairline is only going to be straight from one angle out of many, you know, and you just have to find out what point is the best for your client. And then the last step is to return to that middle and go ahead and line up the opposite side, which in this case is the right side of his hairline. And then you can step back and then you can observe, okay, how are these two sides balancing out? So you're doing two small jobs instead of one long job all the way from the left all the way to the right. And you can work on balancing it out, you know, but just take your time, hit the left a little, hit the right a little, and if you need to go back and forth, you definitely can. But this is just the initial sketch, right? Because we're going to be following up with the razor, and I'm going to show you how we do that right now. But before we do that, guys, I want you to notice that the haircutting system, remember how I started with the clipper all the way closed? Look at how easy it is to fade out this very bottom line and completely get rid of the bulk at the bottom of the hairline. Like I said, now that we have the trimmer, we're going to go ahead and be efficient, and let's do everything we need to do with the trimmer while it is still in our hand. This trimmer, it balded out the very bottom so easily, like 100% effortlessly, because the trimmer is just shorter, just barely shorter than the clipper all the way closed. But yeah, man, look, that was the fade system, guys. What did you think about that? Let me know in the comments down below. Would you be willing to try something like this? If I can pretty much guarantee you that it'll help you remove the stress, and it's one go-to system that you can use across all of your haircuts, man. Tapers, fades, high fades, low fades, anything that's going to fade down to the skin, this is a system you can use that for. And to take it an even step further, what if it's a system that somebody wants a shadow fade? Then all right, cool, just skip the clipper closed part and you can use the half guard closed as your base system and still follow the same principles. You know what I mean? Clipper lengths blend into different clipper lengths, and yeah, man, I mean, I think it's a really good system to follow. It's what I use all day, every day. I was just sick and tired of running behind in the barbershop, man. I was done with that. But look, guys, the cut is done. Now we're on to the style, and I'm showing you here the Hair Tonic by Tomb 45. Now, this is a product. It's funny because I really didn't even really understand what tonic was, you know, at first, but it's a nice product now, from what I understand, to moisturize the hair, and I love using it whenever we're gonna go in with the hair sponge, as you could see here, man. But the whole cut is just coming together, but it comes together even better with the curl sponge, man. It really just lets it pop, you know. So that's essentially it, guys. Look, the links for everything that I used today, from the products to the clippers, all that good stuff, is gonna be in the description down below. And this is the finished product, guys. Listen, I try to schedule these ahead of time as often as possible, so you can join the channel membership. I think it's like $1.99 or $2.99 a month. If you want to see these when I schedule them ahead of time, follow me on Instagram, Tito Cuts Tampa Bay. I'll see you guys in the next video.